How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, an animated visual book summary by Alexander Sandalis. Chapter 2. The Big Secret of Dealing with People. There is only one way to get anybody to do anything. Just one way. And that is by making the other person want to do it. The last principle was talking about criticism and how criticism can harm more than it helps. And this is the opposite end of the spectrum, where this principle talks about appreciation. 30 years ago, a teacher in Detroit asked a student called Stevie Morris to help her find a mouse that was lost in the classroom. You see, this teacher appreciated something that nature had given Stevie that no one else in the room had. And a remarkable pair of ears this was, because he was blind. This was the first time Stevie had ever been really appreciated for his talented ears to make up for his lack of sight. From then on, he developed his gift of hearing and went on to become one of the greatest singers and songwriters of the last century. His name is Stevie Wonder. And it's this idea of appreciation and importance, and how feeling important is something every single human wants, and by honest appreciation is how we can feel important. If you tell me how you get your feeling of importance, I'll tell you what you are. That determines your character. So apparently a large portion of people who go insane have actually nothing organically wrong with their brain cells, because in post-mortem examinations, the tissues are apparently just as healthy as someone the average of their age. So then people ask, why do these people go insane? Now, whether this evidence is still true today, I don't know. This book was written about 70 years ago. But the principle is still relevant. And there's this very coveted, knowledgeable doctor who said he didn't really know what people went insane. Nobody really knows for sure. But he did say that people who go insane find in insanity a feeling of importance that they were unable to achieve in their own reality. And there was this woman, a patient now, whose marriage ended up being a tragedy, a failure, and through all her trials and tribulations, she went insane. And in her imagination, in her insane reality, she divorced her husband, and she believed she had married into English aristocracy. And she started imagining she had a new child every night. Each time she'd say, "Doctor, I had a baby last night." But her physician said if I could stretch out my hand and restore her sanity, I wouldn't do it. She's much happier now. See, some people are so hungry for a feeling of importance that they actually go insane to get it. Imagine what miracle you and I can achieve by giving people honest appreciation this side of insanity. One of the first people in American business to be paid a salary over $1 million when there was no tax was a man named Charles Schwab. Now, he only earned $1 million a year, not because of this amazing knowledge he had on the company or because he was a genius, no, because he knew how to deal with people better than anybody else. He said, "I consider my ability to arouse enthusiasm among my people the greatest asset I possess, and the way to develop the best that is in a person is by appreciation and encouragement. There is nothing else that so kills the ambitions of a person as criticisms from superiors. I never criticize anyone. I believe in giving a person incentive to work. So I'm anxious to praise, but loath to find fault. If I like anything, I'm hefty in my approbation and lavish in my praise." This is what Schwab did. What does the average person do? The average person does the exact opposite. Appreciation and gratitude is something that few exercise consistently. I don't do it. I can admit that. Now, a story that probably many more can relate to. A group of women were involved in a self-improvement program, and one of the women asked her husband to list 6 things she believed that could help her to become a better wife. He said, "Let me think about it. I'll give you an answer in the morning." The next morning, he woke up and called a florist and had 6 red roses sent to his wife with a note saying, "I can't think of 6 things I would like to change about you. I love you the way you are." And when he arrived at home, what do you think greeted him? His wife. Very emotional, very happy, and very thankful for that he had not criticized her. He had appreciated her. And the next time he saw the group of women, he was approached with praise. Many people saying that's the most considerate thing they've ever heard. And it was then he realized the power of appreciation. So with your spouse, with your partner, with your best friend, with your colleagues, maybe suppress your criticism for the moment and try appreciation a couple times and see what that does. But honest appreciation. Because there's a difference between appreciation and flattery. Flattery seldom works with discerning people and perceptive people. It is shallow, selfish, and insincere, and is ought to fail. The difference between appreciation and flattery is simple. One is sincere and the other is insincere. One comes from the heart and the other from the teeth out. Don't be afraid of the enemies who attack you. Be afraid of the friends who flatter you. And it's little things. Carnegie talks about, the little things like when you're in a restaurant and you're enjoying a meal, just ask the waiter, send word to the chef that how much you appreciated the meal and what you liked about it. Next time you're on the street and you see a man, woman, or anybody with a nice piece of clothing that you like, show gratitude, show appreciation, show likeness, fondness of what you like about them. I feel like we get way too caught up in thinking way too much about preconceived judgments, about what our words will do to a person and the impact they'll have, and what if I say this, what if I do that. We're all thinking too much, we're all caught up in our heads too much, and the spontaneity is removed, and therefore gratitude and appreciation is removed because we're thinking and mental masturbation. That's it, we're done. Just stop, pause, and appreciate. Let's cease thinking of our accomplishments, our wants. Let's try to figure out the other person's good points. Then forget flattery. Give honest, sincere appreciation. Be hearty in your approbation and lavish in your praise, and people will cherish your words and treasure them and repeat them over a lifetime. Repeat them for years after you have forgotten them. Principle 2. Give honest and sincere appreciation.